Good morning. Morning, everybody. Or Silver and Dill. Hope you guys are well. Well, let's just get right into it. Markets today. So what a funny day. I've won a trade in the CAD. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Is that a sign of things to come? I'm not sure, but hopefully it is a sign of better markets when I win a trade in the CAD. I'll go through that actually before I go into the markets. So CAD Swiss is looking nice. This was a clean setup. You know, watching this, we obviously talked about it on stream yesterday. A nice V reversal from this area. Squeeze in. I'll zoom in here so you can see it a little bit better. CAD at last, I know, right, Silver? And breakout from this area, a good steady state retest on lowering volume and certainly a catalyst here. Now, if this was kind of unusually large, which it's not. It is a large candle, but it's not unusually large. I probably would have been a little bit worried. But it's kind of perfect for me. You know, obviously coming on high volume and big rejection of the 20, rejection of that area. It was above the previous swing, so we utilized that and moved our stop above that candle. Entry in there. TP1 was roughly here, taken out on this particular candle. We have broke underneath the lows here, so our stop can be moved here, waiting for a break underneath here, because it is counter trend to move our stop roughly around this area. So it's a guaranteed profitable trade, which is nice. Stop the kind of rut. The daily, albeit it is counter trend, the daily, morning Amira, morning Ifo. The daily looks good, right? This is certainly a bearish bar yesterday. Our confluence was right with that trade, and it's just an all-round nice trade. You know, in terms of a breakout retest, that's what you're looking for. We got our 5 candle minimum. Again, we got our proper rejection. We've got our V reversal. We've got our daily confluence for a counter trend trade. That is what I'm looking for. And the results have finally come. And let's see how much this runs. You know, if the SPX decides to pull back, if oil decides to come down on any kind of peace talks or any resolution between Ukraine and Russia, the CAD will come off. Depending on if that moves to risk on nature. Either way, it doesn't matter. Whatever is going to happen will happen. I'm just waiting purely for a swing. Waiting for a swing. So a nice trade to end off the quarter. And if I bring this up, you know, even though it could have been better, I was just updating this morning. You know, that 0.75 that we've locked in, 7.7 for the quarter, it does seem a lot better than a 6.2 or whatever it was. And 8, 16, 24, 32. You know, an 8% still puts me on track to beat my 33%. Well, roughly on track to beat my try and beat my 33% consistent trading record. So, yeah, happy with that. And as I said, anything can happen now. Let's just let it be and let it run as much as it wants to go. Okay, morning, James. SPX 500. We are move this to the daily. We're still looking okay. We're still risk on. You know, we had a rejection here on the daily of this previous resistance, which is good. Whether we possibly get some price acceptance above this area before continuation, whether we do get a pullback, we'll have to wait and see. But it's not going to change my bias. You know, maybe if we do come down, I might say, you know, neutral / pullback, but it's still going to be a risk on environment because of where we've come from. So stock market's pushing. It does go out with what we kind of normally see in terms of the Forex market. So it could easily push on. And I'm not going to try and analyze that too heavily. We can see the kind of pullback here on this 4-hour chart. Decent 4-hour rejection. If we're taking it from a technical standpoint, do I think it's enough? Probably not. Do I think would I like to have a little bit more here of a pullback to make that trend a bit healthier? Absolutely, I would. But if it wants to push, then let it push, and it will be risk on. But just be aware that we could get some pullback action, as we are seeing a little bit of strength in the yen on that pullback nature. The dollar today got down to this area yesterday. This 200 4-hour is approaching, probably going to be an area dynamic resistance or support, to price. But it does look a lot bearish, certainly on this daily chart. You know, this is not nice price action. As a trend continuation, you'd expect this to move from here. We've not got that. So albeit it's quite volatile, albeit, yes, I mean, we are still technically in an uptrend. We've not broken this anchor here, but the writing on the wall looks a little bit more bearish than it does bullish. So what would I say with the dollar? Possibly something like this, maybe, before continuation and a break. Maybe it tags that 200. Do I think it's ready to go just yet? Probably not. Probably not. But we're not seeing the reaction as we've seen previously, right? So these last two reactions here, they've obviously produced pretty immediate results. We're not getting that here. So I would wait for a what do we think? I would prefer this. This would make it a potential setup. This would make it really nice for me for movement down on the dollar. But I wouldn't discount this just breaking through this area. I wouldn't discount that. But let's see. Let the market tell us what it wants to do with the dollar. Lower time frames obviously do look bearish, albeit a little bit extended. So if we can have some sort of pullback before a breakthrough, I think that would be nice for dollar short, certainly. Okay, watch this today. Not many. Dash is the first one. Dash here, I was umming and ahhing over this, purely because of this daily chart. Not that I think it's massively extended. I just sometimes don't like price action that we get like this because I worry about a potential loss of momentum from this impulse. But there's no doubt that when crypto wants to move and when there's some confidence in it, it can really move. The context is great, right? There's no doubt about that. This context, this area is key. And we're certainly getting a squeeze, and quite a nice squeeze into this area. So this is good. Context is good. 4 hour, again, I don't mind the 4 hour. The 4 hour obviously looks better than the daily from this, correcting through time. We are, we did have a pullback here, but it's been bought into. As we have our latest push here, we are getting some accumulation and pullback into it for, you'd have to say, theoretically, another movement to the upside. So a breakout retest on Dash would be nice. And if it does continue to... Morning, Nick, mate. How you doing, pal? If it does continue to potentially do something like this, then a pullback in there, push on. That would look pretty good. That would look pretty good for Dash. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Gold. My aggressive entry didn't work out. I did say when I put it in, I wasn't sure whether it was enough. Okay, and looking back now, it wasn't enough. But, this is what we do testing for. I was looking at this bar here. Did have some volume coming on. We can look at it as an evening star. We had the 200. We had the 20. But again, if I pull this away, it probably just wasn't enough from this basing structure. So I'm going to put it on as my testing, just to keep it real. Keep it real with the kids. But I'll be waiting for another possible entry. Maybe we get something like this before movement to the downside, in which case we can look for a catalyst here. This wasn't one for me because it didn't come on higher volume. But in terms of a breakout, we've seen the structure. It's still setting up. May take some time, but certainly a good context here if we get something like this to take us to the downside on a break underneath this 1900 level, I guess. Pretty psychological level for gold. But we have still got this daily hammer. So we could push on. In which case, that's fine. We don't take the trade. We move on, and we move on with our lives. And it's okay. It's okay. What's up? And the last one I'm looking at today, not very busy today, and I'm absolutely fine with that. When you've got a trade running profitably, I don't feel the need at all to take anything more if they don't set up. But USD Hong Kong, I'm primarily looking at it on this 4 hour. As the day goes by, the daily does get a bit better. I would like a few more days in here, which I'll talk about in the 4 hour, just again to digest this move. So it's getting there. I wouldn't be confident taking a daily just yet, albeit you're going with the trend. Okay, I understand it. But from a 4 hour perspective, we take this as our basing structure up to here, pull back in, pushing through a little bit of accumulation before a break to the upside. What day is it? Thursday, possibly a breakout for tomorrow. If it does break out, we can look at a breakout retest. But, this is nice. It is nice. This is nice. As a context, very similar to Dash, where, we've got probably an A-star context, but an A-star trading time frame. but a B star context or higher time frame confluence where they're still good. We're still going with the trade, but the worry is, are we buying it at the end of the move? Are we really digested? Are we actually RTM is the easiest way to say it. Are we actually ready to move another leg like this? Maybe. As I said, I don't think it's massively extended, but it's certainly not A class. But it's worth a look. Absolutely worth a look. Morning, Unruly. Yeah, I can't say Unruly Hot FX Market. What's your name? It's easier for me to say. Well, welcome. Hope you find some value here with us. Okay, let's have a look at your guys' pairs, shall we? Omar sent a few. Here we go. Morning. I'm looking at these today's Aussie Yen 4-hour chart. There might be some that I didn't pick up today. Aussie Yen. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Aussie Yen 4-hour chart. So you're looking from here. Well, it's kind of breaking through now. Aussie Yen, I presume daily. Yeah, there is. Yeah, I understand it on a pullback. And it's not a bad context, to be fair, from this. You know, we've got stuff in there that, albeit it's a smaller context, but it still is valid. So, yeah, if you've taken a break underneath there, I would understand it. You've got your evening star there on, do we have the volume? Evening star, it is an evening star, so, yep. The volume is okay. It's not perfect, but it is okay. We've got higher volume coming in here. We do have the rejection to the upside. It has had a massive move, so in terms of pullback breakout, I wouldn't be in my I wouldn't mind that. Also, here, silver, is this the one that you put in as well? Aussie Yen, or was it New Zealand Yen? But we can look at this. V reversal in, breakthrough, potential breakout retest. Why did I not see that? This is good. 30 to 50%. Yeah, we have that. A break underneath. We've got some volume coming in on this break. Fair enough, London hasn't opened yet, but that doesn't matter. Aussie Yen breakout retest. That should be on my list. I'm going to put this on my list here. Aussie Yen potential breakout retest to the downside. Hold on. See, this is the good thing about this group. There's things that I miss that you guys pick up on. That's brilliant. 6 eyes are better than 2, right? V-Rev, C-Trend. Yeah, let's have a look at that. What else have we got? Okay, Aussie Yen. So, yeah, I like that. Aussie CAD. Yeah, I think I like this on a daily as well. Aussie CAD. Wasn't quite ready to go yesterday, maybe from this daily perspective, but if we're looking at this as a V reversal, yeah, it's still setting up. Again, needs a little bit more for me to digest this impulse, but it's getting there. If we get something like this, let me move this side. If we get something like this, push on a bit of accumulation. So again, we're digesting this. We look a little bit healthier for a break up. Then that would make sense. If we start to turn risk on and oil starts to fall, buying the Aussie CAD would make sense to me. So, yeah, I agree with that one as well, Omar. CAD Yen. What are you looking at here? CAD Yen, 30-minute. 30-minute. Let me just... So you're looking here from this section. Well, it's broken through now, so your bias was right. Yeah, I guess you could look from here, right? Well, it's gone now, so before you posted it, yeah. But I can see why you're looking. Head and shoulders, V reversal, back in, breakout. If you're looking for a retest, it's probably gone, but the premise of it, yeah, well done. Quite similar to Aussie Yen. Aussie Yen in terms of the daily confluence, and you've got that movement to the downside on the 4-hour as well. A little bit of confluence with this particular bar here. We've had extensive move to the upside that cannot continue forever. Yeah, good ideas, Omar. Good ideas. Like them. USD Hong Kong, I did that already. So yeah, I agree with you on that as well. New Zealand yen. Was that the one I just did? New Zealand yen. No, I did it Aussie yen. So this is probably the same. New Zealand yen. So we're looking here. Let me have a look. Oh. Yeah, it looks cleaner on your chart, doesn't it? It's just whether. I think I prefer Aussie yen because if we're looking here, right? Let's say this is our initial structure. This little bit here makes a mess. If this comes away and we had that, then yeah. So this little bit here makes it a little bit messy where we're saying, okay, what are we actually seeing here? We're seeing our larger V reversal basing structure. I mean, you can maybe... It just makes it a little bit messy. So possibly if we get this silver, for me, again, this is for me personally, breakout retest, move to the downside, that would make sense. I think Aussie yen is a bit cleaner. That's what I would say. So if we go back to Aussie yen, you can see from this chart, silver, it's just a little bit cleaner. We've got our touch here, we've got our pullback, and we've got our breakthrough. So albeit, yeah, you can, in terms of New Zealand yen, you can say, well, we've tagged the level multiple times and now we've broken through. So it might be less significant, or we've not broken through yet, but we may break through. So I understand that. It's just this particular point. So for me, yeah, looking at this for a breakout retest, obviously not like that, would make sense. Makes sense. Finally got my 4-hour trades. It's been a while. I've only traded the 15-minute for some time. New Zealand dollar. Yep, I agree with that. New Zealand dollar to the downside. New Zealand dollar to the downside. Kiwi and Aussie are coming off. How far are you looking at? Down to the 69 level. Yeah, it certainly looks bearish. Even though the dollar looks bearish as well. You know, this bar is certainly a bearish bar. Just maybe, you know, the dollar does like that 50. Whether we get there, you know, we'll have to wait and see. But I know you're going to lock your stop in pretty quickly. So, yeah. Pound US dollar as well. You're in this from, I mean, that looks better than, yeah, that looks good. Pound USD. 4-hour. Look at the daily. You're kind of wanting it to move a little bit more, aren't you? Problem is potentially that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's hard for me looking at pound USD. It's actually hard to make sense of what's going on right now because I thought this would probably have moved to the downside from this point in time, which we've not got, but we may be potentially accumulating before continuation to the downside. Yeah, hard chart to read right now, pound USD for me personally. Euro USD selling. Euro USD selling. From up here. From this area. Yeah, I mean, I don't often like, as I talked about with Dash and everything, when we get the impulse and you get price action like this. It's different for the Kiwi. So the Kiwi, sometimes if you get new, or you'll notice this, when you get big news with the Kiwi, why do I keep saying sometimes? One of the characteristics of it is it kind of digests, where a lot of the times you see with big news events, they'll probably come back down or completely fail or, you know, retrace into it and go. The Kiwi does kind of digest it as it goes along. But normally I don't like this price action to the upside. As I said, it's looking a little bit like this, right? Like your rising wedge. So in terms of that bias, it's not telling me it wants to fall just yet, but I would see why your bias is there for EU, yeah. But the daily does look okay for upside. But we could get some retracement into it. So, yeah. Not in it. All right, okay, yeah. And Aussie dollar. So you're buying the dollar. Yep. Yeah, I could see you making money on all them for a pullback action. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, no comment, no comment. I could see your bias with all of them. One more squeeze will be fine. All right, yeah. Yeah, I agree, Silver. I agree. But yeah, I'm going to look at that Aussie yen. I'm going to look at that Aussie yen. Breaking through now, breaking underneath 100. You know, come back and retest this area. 120. Catalyst, volume. Very similar to CAD Swiss, right? With that daily confluence, with that 4-hour breaking out. It's not a breakout for me, by the way, but I would understand, Omar, why you think it is. And it's not saying it's wrong at all. I just wouldn't, for me personally, I don't look at that and say I'm going to take that as a breakout. But I certainly would look at this and say I'll take that as a breakout retest. Cheers from Vegas. No worries, Martin. No worries. Well, no, you can't hear me. Morning, Audrey. You're joining at the end of the, and Darren, you're joining at the end of the stream. Anything else you guys want me to look at before I head off? As I said, I'm looking for a break underneath this for CAD Swiss to move my stop. I'm not looking at forcing anything. Aussie yen and Dash is probably my well, certainly my picks because they're on my watch list that are looking to set up today. Potentially Kiwi yen as well if we get another leg. Probably going to be tomorrow. But yeah, these will be ones that I look at for maybe the same time as CAD Swiss yesterday, our US session trades. Maybe Dash could be a little bit less, but yeah, certainly valid. Certainly valid. Hopefully a 20% on them. Well, that would be lovely, wouldn't it? That would be lovely, Nick. Right, guys. Anything else before I love you and leave you? You CAD or you Swiss? You CAD? USD CAD. Would I buy USD CAD? This is okay. Right, I always like to see this on a bit of volume, which we don't think we've got that. Have we? No. I mean, it is a rejection of that area. We have come from a decent move to the downside, so I would understand retail getting trapped out somewhere here. USD CAD sellers. In which case, do you look for price to move into possible stop locations if we're considering this a fake? You know, somewhere here, somewhere here. In terms of a 4-hour perspective, do I think it needs a pullback? Yeah, absolutely needs a pullback for me. I wouldn't, if you're asking me, Nick, I wouldn't buy it personally because it obviously doesn't fit my strategy. But would I like the idea of buying it? Maybe on a break of this anchor, pull back in here, a pullback entry. Do I think that's valid? Yeah. Yeah. But again, you're going against the grain, right? Going against the grain. So I can see a pullback potentially coming, but it is counter trend. So yeah. From the 1.25, that's where the money is. So now. Or just yeah, basically here. So whether you've seen the orders come in from, right? Yeah, if it takes from there, I would be more inclined to look at this area, the 1.252, let's say, on you know, on to be God, I'm losing my words today. To be pernickety with it, let's say. But not quite yet for me. Not quite yet. Gold dollar, gold USD. I don't understand what this is, mate. What's that? The thingy pattern? Looks like a signature. What are you looking at? Let me know what you're looking at. You've got your level here, so you're looking at movement to the upside. If you can give me a little bit more information, I'll be able to give my my bias on it. But if you're looking at gold longs, so what we try to do, again, Unruly, if you can type in your name, it'll help me remember with gold, is that you could be right, yeah, because of that daily confluence here. If you're looking to the upside, for my personal strategy, I would be looking at an entry short because we've got a larger reversal, ABC, pushing on, looking for this not to break the anchor here, in which case if it does, yeah, it looks better for movement to the upside. It's just not giving me a reason to long it. I mean, maybe you could say here, But from a personal standpoint, unless it breaks possibly here, but certainly here, it's not giving me a reason to long gold just yet. I'd rather be looking at shorting opportunities because of that daily V reversal for me, personally. Kyle, there you go. That's easier. That's easier to say. Yeah, so if you just let me, if you just kind of let me know what you're looking at, then I can give my bias. Because I know, so for example, all the guys in here, Kyle, just give you, and girls, sorry, Amira and Ifo. I kind of know their trading style roughly. So when they post their ideas, I can kind of see, okay, this is what you're looking at. So because remember, there's so many ways to trade a market. So there's a lot of guys and girls in here that have different styles from me. So yeah. Oh, sorry, you're looking at a 30-minute. Short-term buy from this support zone. Let me zoom out a little bit. Short-term buy. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'd be worried that this price action is sold into, you know. I have to say, it's not a very nice chart. But that's one thing I'll say. I know it's gold, and gold moves in its own kind of way, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if that pushed on as well, you know. So, but just watch, there is that 4-hour 200 to contend with. We are kind of in the middle of these moving averages as well. Sometimes you get a pinch, what's called as a pinch either way, where you kind of blast off from that squeeze, or you could call it, from those moving averages. So, yeah. Yeah, daily confluence with that hammer. Again, it just depends on how you look at it. But yeah, welcome, Kyle. It's good to have you in here. And yeah, when you send through, just give your ideas, and you know, other people can comment on them and stuff. We're all trying to help each other here. Yeah. That's more kind of an Andy or Nick strategy, I guess. A deeper pullback and push on. It's just not something that I personally resonate with. I would be waiting for 4-hour confirmation. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at selling it. Anyway, good day. We are in profit, and it's always nice to be in profit, right? Yeah, I would like that as well. If I get something, if we get something like this, I would certainly go in again on an aggressive. You know, you get your bearish engulfer somewhere around this area, in looking for breaking to the downside. I would agree with that. Gold does like a deeper corrective, right? So the USD likes the 50. The gold actually likes a little bit more than the 61.8. So in terms of you're looking at the 71.78, which I don't normally look at, from a gold perspective, yeah, that would certainly make more sense to me. So that's what I would be, exactly what I'd be looking for, Nick, as well. That's what I'd be looking for. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. I will be playing golf in the afternoon because it's relatively quiet, but I will keep an eye on the charts. If I do take any of those pairs, obviously, I will let you know. If I move my stop on Cadchf, I will let you know. But let's not go forcing anything. One day, this is the last day of the quarter, and we regroup and start again in April. So, yeah. All right, guys, trade safe. Peace.